And I was writing all the bad things down, and Jesse was like, no, you have to write the good things down too. You can't write a book about all the bad things. Yes, I can!
It's called a horror book.
Type thing. It is Halloween and stuff, so.
Coming to you from 125 Carver in Waco, Texas, it's the Riverside Weekly. We hope your time with us today is thought-provoking, spiritually challenging, and a life-changing experience. Our discussions are fun, real, and at times very uncomfortable. We highly encourage all of our guests and listeners to like and subscribe, and please ring the bell. Now, here are your hosts, Pastor Cello and Pastor Mia.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. It's Wednesday.
What up? It's
Yay!
Hump Day. Welcome. So glad you guys are joining us.
Thank you.
We just celebrated 6 years Sunday. Mm-hmm. Technically, somewhere in there.
Well, I'm still there celebrating because when it's my birthday, I celebrate for a month.
A whole month celebration.
Yeah. So I'm like, just because we made
birthday month.
Yeah, and just because we made it 6 years doesn't mean the celebration ends. And we told you a lot last week because we were like, cheers to 6 years. And I actually was still posting as of this week about, or at least trying, to post about updating our status. It was a message that we did. A podcast that we did that you cannot watch. You must listen to.
You have to listen to it.
Yeah.
It was way before video.
Yeah. And I don't even know the date on it. It's episode 64. And I was listening to it and was still crying. And you were crying from the microphone. Me? Yes. And I was. And it was just so good because...
Actually, you know what? I think you're right. I think...
It was the first service we did in this building.
It was the first service we did in this building. And we turned it into a podcast.
Yes. And you can see all the streamers still back there. Everything is still up because we're in celebration mode. Just because it's not our birthday, that doesn't mean anything. It's our birthday month. Yeah. All October. So, And, but I was thinking about, I was actually listening to that episode and was just bawling my eyes out because I was like, it's still relevant today. And right now, this week, I'm trying to figure out how to put the link. But if you don't see it on my Instagram, again, the original Pastor Mia. If you don't see it on my Instagram link, you can go to the Riverside Waco. What's the name of our app?
Riverside Waco.
Okay, the Riverside Waco app, and you can click on podcast, and you can click on listen to, and it's episode 64, and it just talks about how we got the building.
I think I can put a link in here somewhere.
Okay, how we got started. Yeah, but I still want it on the Instagram.
No, I'm just saying,
too.
like, they don't have to go, like, it'll be in the description.
Okay.
In the descriptions in the bottom.
So, and I was just thinking about how blessed we were, and... are. And just listening to that podcast was just mind-blowing out of all the things that happened in the week coming to moving into this building. And you weren't even here. That's like just mind-blowing to me. He came in on a Saturday or on a Friday. And we had our first service on Sunday. It was just like that, and just the things that God was doing in that podcast and in that moment. And not that he doesn't do things, all the time.
Well, I think it's not that he doesn't do anything. It's not that he's stopped doing.
Right. There you go.
But I think it's interesting how we forget the thing that he has done and what he is doing a lot of times. And I think it's because we don't really record, or should I say take a record of.
Yes.
And so we forget.
Yeah.
We read, this is so good.
Go.
We go and we read the scriptures and we see all these miracles, all these things that God did from the Old Testament to the New Testament. And we're like, oh my gosh, I wish God would do this or this. And we never really take record of the things that he's currently doing in our lives or has done. And so we forget those things. And unless you record them, not necessarily...
Write them down.
Well, record them as far as like audio, visual, write them down, log them down, then you forget. And sometimes they're probably sitting on somebody's, what do you call it? sitting on somebody's desktop or sitting in somebody's notepad or journal inside of a shelf or inside of a drawer, and we never go back and look at those because that's literally what happened in episode 64. Like somebody,
It was
written
actually
down.
written down that we started this church in 99, and 20 years
Was it
later,
99?
it was 99, and 20 years later we started the church.
Yeah.
So in celebration with that, not knowing that it was going to take 20 years to get out of the wilderness,
But not even knowing,
that we were supposed to.
not knowing that we were supposed to start a church, not even knowing that it was written down.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was the thing
They
that
didn't even
impact-
tell us till we said we were
We
launching.
were already launching. We had already launched.
Oh yeah, you're right.
'Cause
We were
had-
mobile. We
yeah.
were mobile.
And so,
But I'm saying when we got ready to launch, they revealed that to us that they had written it down in
yeah,
'99,
so it was like,
which was
wow.
still 20 years,
yeah, because, yeah.
right?
Well, it
'Cause
was
99.
Well, it was right before we moved into the building. So
that would have
was
been
like 20
18,
years.
20
So,
years, yeah. So saying all that, yeah. And it's funny that you said that about writing it down because when I was in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, shout out to the 505, if you're out there listening, the Burque. When I was rooming with my grandmother, she was listening to Marilyn Hickey, and Marilyn said they write down every occurrence, whether it's good or bad, so that they know when it happened. And I thought, that's perfect because me talking about writing a book about the Food Truck Chronicles, I didn't write down everything, and I'm sad that I didn't because I didn't have a calendar, and I'm that type of person. I don't like writing in notes, in lines. It has to be in blocks for the date because that's the only way I can remember. And I was writing all the bad things down, and Jesse was like, "No, you have to write the good things down too. You can't write a book about all the bad things." Yes, I can.
It's called a horror book.
Type thing. It is Halloween and stuff. So, but saying all that to say that. She said that, and when she said that, that was so mind-blowing for me. I was like, why didn't I do that? Why don't we do that? Wow, they do that for their ministry, and if we had in the 6 years we've been here, it would be mind-blowing.
I'm sure it's documented somewhere.
But if it was on the walls, you need to keep it before you. That's what it says. Write the scriptures on the tablet of your heart and keep it before you. That's the same thing with the blessings, We should be writing them down, not just the blessings, but the things that have happened and how when the answer came for it or when overcame, So I guess my question today is, and this is probably something someone's asking, well, should I be nervous when I'm being too blessed? Because at that moment, we were so blessed in that week. And I'm not saying that hasn't happened, because that's definitely happened to me this year. And I'm just like, should I be nervous? Let me just say it this way. So in all the things that have happened to me this year, and all my traveling, and all the chronicles, and all the things that have happened to me at 50 years old.
Do tell.
And this is me just being transparent. Please don't be mad. Don't write me any letters. If you're going to write emails, write them to him. But in all of that, I thought to myself, Lord, are you getting me ready for death? That I had to go see all these things and do all these things, checking off my bucket list item. One of them.
As long as you don't reach from WebMD, you're okay.
Yeah, everything on there leads to death. But I'm just saying that I had that thought, and I know those thoughts are not pure thoughts. Those thoughts are not from God. But you can't tell me that somebody doesn't think that, when they're getting blessed left and right. Well, I talk about death all the time, but that's crazy because before the age of 12, I didn't even want to say that word. And I didn't want no one around me to say that word because I was afraid of it. But now that I'm not afraid of it, it's easy for me to talk about it and be like, oh, death, where's your sting? Type thing. What did I say the other day? Fight like a girl. It's October. What, Rosie the Riveter and her pink, But I'm just saying that should I be nervous that I'm being so blessed, And
Well, you have to stay tuned for the answer to that, because that's my next series.
Oh.
Well, it's along those lines, but.
Okay.
But I'm not getting into it here. You have to wait.
Well.
You have to tune in on a Sunday.
Well, Anyway, saying all that to say that thinking about the anniversary and it being, the 6 years and all the things that were in that episode, and just like I literally bawling my eyes out, and not regularly ugly cry, like driving ugly cry, and I could not compose myself. I really had to pull over and was like, and just thinking about it. And I'm just like, wow, that's been this year too. 6 years ago, that was the thing. And it's still relevant today as it was then. And that's the same that we say about God's word. His word is relevant as it was 2,000 years ago. And it's just the methods have changed, I don't know. I'm not nervous about being too blessed. But at the same time, it was a thought that went through my head. Lord, are you getting me ready for something? And then somebody said too, well, you done did all this stuff. Now you're ready for the real work, huh? Is it work or is it, what's happening? Type thing.
Yeah.
So starting a new job today too, is mind blowing. I know. I don't want to hear none of you in the back over there. Mia, that's like the 12th job you've had this year. It doesn't matter. It's my life. It's not yours. Don't worry about it. Nobody judged you. Why are you always judging me? It's only because I believe in science. No, I'm just kidding. You can drink your little bottle of water all you want. If it's a cup of tea, you do it like this. You know what? Is that not an evil and
That's
maniacal
funny.
laugh?
It's just me.
My
laughing.
son used to say, he must sit in the room thinking of things and ways to set him up.
No, I'm just.
That's an evil and maniacal
No,
laugh.
it's not either. It's just me laughing at you.
Because?
Because you're saying all the things that they're thinking.
That's what I'm saying. You thought it, but you said it,
I'm not getting in the middle of this. I'm.
Okay, give us a prequel. Give us a
I do
prequel.
podcasts and preach messages and encourage people.
Well, encourage me.
Well, you don't want to be encouraged with my message. My message is not very nice. It's really, quite frankly, it's raw. Basically, just the thought process is
So am I crazy? That's the
to
question.
think that are you too blessed or should you be afraid of being too
Yeah,
blessed?
yeah.
I think so. I think it's a legitimate fear. See, I told you like it.
I need to leave. The podcast is over. We'll see you next
It's a
week.
legitimate fear. I think if you're not feeling that way, you're probably not really delving deep into what God has for you. So you're in a good place, if that makes sense. Okay.
I'm the guy. I'm the meme. I'm trying to be the meme where the kid is sitting there and he's like, that's how I feel right now. I'm like, I don't know. That didn't answer my question.
but are you-
Jesus, do not give me a question with the question that I have.
Well, my name is not Jesus, it's Jesus. No, I'm joking.
I know. I saw somebody's cup.
The plumber.
I saw somebody's cup. Shout out to John Coates, and it said JC on his cup, and I was like, Jesus Christ or John Coates? Which one? I mean,
So, I mean, your thought process is legitimate. It's a legitimate fear. Am I too blessed? And that's really the kind of the thought process of where the series is going.
tell me the name of the series.
Is consumer Christianity. So the series is called
Dun, dun, dun.
Consumer Christianity. It's coming up, and it's kind of addressing the fact of what you're asking is like, am I too blessed? Or like,
I mean, it is a legitimate thought. It was a legitimate thought. I thought, okay, I'm half a century. I get it, Lord. You're blessing my socks off, but I'd like some shoes,
well, that's what I'm
type
saying.
thing.
Well, that's like the whole. Without getting all the way into the message, I mean, like really, like the question is like we love making these statements as believers.
Tell me.
I'm blessed going in.
And blessed coming out.
Everything that I set my hand to
But
is.
see,
everything
blessed
that's-
coming out to me, blessed coming out is peace out. Whoosh, Elijah in the chariot. You
No,
know,
I mean,
that's what I see.
Blessed going in, blessed coming out. Everything I set my hand to is what?
Prosper.
Prosperous and blessed. Everywhere I tread my foot treads is what? Blessed. When I walk into the store, the store is
blessed.
what?
And they just call
Blessed.
me blessed.
The company
I
I work
am
for.
Mia, the money magnet.
The company that I work for is what?
Blessed.
Why?
Because I work
Because
there.
I work there. Right. So when you start thinking about all this process and this thoughts that we've been taught and shared, like we're blessed, we're blessed, we're blessed. To what point are you blessed enough? At what point?
See, that's the creepy thought that I had.
That's what I'm
I was
saying.
just
Like,
like,
at what
Lord, I
point-
thank you, but
At what point?
no thanks.
At what point are you so blessed that you're too blessed? Right? Because we want to be blessed. We want the blessings of God. We want to walk in blessings. We don't want to be cursed. But can you be so blessed?
Like with a jet?
No,
A
I'm
new
just saying.
house?
I'm saying, like, can an individual, a person, a believer, a follower of Christ, be so blessed that they're cursed? That's a question. Like, can you be that
see,
blessed?
there you go, being like Jesus
Can you
again.
be-
I didn't
can you be
ask
so
you
blessed that you're
to bring
cursed?
me a question when I asked a specific question, and I don't need you to answer
I'm
that
not-
with
but-
the
but I
question.
can't- but see, that's-
because that's the question.
See, that's the problem with the church today. That's the problem with us as believers. We want the pastor to give us the answer so we don't have to think about anything. And we can blame the pastor for our responses.
Well, let me tell you what my grandchild told me.
What did they tell you?
They said, "Wow, Grandma, you look really good on Sunday." And I said, "Thanks. I'm trying to look like a pastor's wife." She went, "A pastor's wife? You're a pastor." Great. Out of the mouths of babes.
Not a pastor's wife, but
No,
a pastor.
So
Come on, somebody. Oh, yeah.
I said, "Shut your mouth. Go back over there in the kids' area." It was funny, though. It was
I
great.
bet that sounded like Lulu.
It was Lulu. How'd you
Bam, I knew it. I
Man,
know my
Lulu,
grandbabies,
I
man.
tell you what.
I know my sheep.
My sheep hear my voice.
I know my
and
sheep
they
in my
follow
voice, and I
after
know
me.
their vein. I hear what they're. Yeah, that sounded like Lulu.
Yes, it was. It was. And what is it called? Not cynical. Yeah,
Right. But no, I think you asking the question is a healthy question.
Okay,
I
I'll
think it's
take
healthy.
that.
I
I'll
don't
take
think
that.
it's-
Just
I don't
stop
think-
there.
I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's out of line. I think it's healthy. I don't think it's the devil.
Across the line. What?
I don't think it's the devil. I don't think it's an evil spirit. I don't think it's literally a healthy question. We as believers, we don't like
I got it.
asking healthy questions.
I got it. I have a good example.
Okay, what?
When your kids used to get in trouble, you used
My
to.
kids?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Your kids used to get in trouble, and
Not
you
your
used to
kids.
say, no, mine never got in trouble. They just,
Okay.
And when they used to get in trouble, you would say, "You know what? Why don't you go to your room and think of the punishment that I should give you?" That was the worst for them, and they've told you that a million times. They were like, I don't know. I could say this, but this might happen, and that drove them nuts. They couldn't even stand you at that moment because it was just eating them up inside that you were thinking about, no matter what they brought to the table, this is how you were going to twist it.
I didn't twist it.
I know, but I'm just saying that's what they thought, So I know how they felt because that's exactly how I felt when I was thinking that to God. I was like, "Man,
Am I
Lord,
too blessed?"
Man, really? I was like, "Man, Lord, I went to Albuquerque, and 2 weeks later I went to the Seatley and Seattle, and I was like, man, and this and this and this."
But, I mean,
and this is me. The next thing comes, and I'm like, "Thank you, Lord." I know you don't have strings attached to things, but what time is it?
That's a whole lot of blessing.
What time is it? What time of year is it? Is this the year the rabbit? What? Where am I?
But that's what I'm saying. Is like,
So that's why I was like
yeah, that's what
putting
that's what,
feelers out.
That's what I'm saying is like we don't ever have those thoughts. We literally say, "I'm too blessed to be depressed. I'm too blessed to be whatever. I'm too blessed," right? And so we have this, and the question we have to ask ourselves is, are you too blessed? Because some people are like, "Oh, you can't be too blessed." I don't know. I think maybe you should ask that question a little bit deeper.
When you walk down to the car lot and you go buy your own car and then you say you were blessed with a car, I don't know.
That's what I'm
That's a
saying.
car
Like,
payment.
are we-
So
How blessed are you?
How
That's
blessed are you
that's kind of what I'm going to be addressing in the series. Like,
Okay.
how blessed are you?
I don't know. I know some of you are mad because you're like, hey, Pastor, you can't be saying that about us speaking confessions over ourselves, and there's no such thing as us being too blessed, you know, da-da-da-da-da. But these are real things. These are real things that people are thinking about. If you don't like us being as transparent and as asking the questions that some are thinking, then you can just unfollow us.
So I'll leave you with this question.
Okay. No, stop being like
No,
Jesus.
I'm gonna be done.
Always trying to answer questions with a question.
No, I'm trying to put it in perspective, right? Because we say, well, how can anybody be too blessed? Can a child of a parent or parents, can a child be spoiled?
Every adult would say yes.
Then why is it any different for us?
So we're spoiled? Is that what you're saying? So you're saying that I'm spoiled?
I didn't say that you were spoiled.
Well, someone told me
No,
that I was spoiled, and his name was Jesse.
I'm not saying that.
Sorry, he didn't tell me I was spoiled. He was just like, you're the one traveling the world and doing all these trips and stuff.
I'm not saying you're
Haterade,
spoiled.
but
I'm
it's
not
all
saying
right.
I'm spoiled. I'm saying, like, if a child can be spoiled, and even if the parents don't think they are or see that they are, and the child doesn't realize that they are, but everybody else can
Sees
see,
it.
man, that child is spoiled. Think about what it means to be spoiled. If something goes bad, what is it?
So, but am I spoiled?
That's the question.
I wouldn't say yeah. I don't know.
I can't define that for you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate you. This episode of Riverside Weekly. We'll be back next week when we decide how spoiled she is. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you continue to continue. Thank you for
Continue to continue.
Continue to join us. Please like, subscribe, share on all your social media sites. And thank you for hitting that bell. Bing, bing, bing. Love you guys so much.
Thanks for
And
celebrating 6 years with us
us.
all month long. Yes, we know this is Cancer Awareness Month. We know that it is Other Awareness Month, but
She said other awareness.
well, that's what people do that, you know, like it was National Siblings Day, National Daughters Day, I'm like, wait, today was National Taco Day. Oh, no, that was yesterday. I'm sorry.
I missed it.
What's today? Yeah, I know. We even missed National Coffee Day. I mean, I don't know. But thanks for joining us anyway and celebrating. Matter of fact, it's National Heritage Month or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Praise Hallelujah.
Thanks for joining us and staying with us as we celebrate 6 years this year, taking it way back to episode 64.
Check out the link.
Yeah. Peace. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Riverside Weekly. Download the Riverside Waco app to stay connected and follow us on all social media sites at the Riverside Waco. This podcast is made possible by the givers of Riverside Community Church. Production and engineering provided by Capital G and RTV in Waco, Texas.